Okay, I'd like to reconvene the May 2023 Committee on Accreditation meeting. Ms. Bernardo, will you please call the roll?
Jolmaline Belatayo, Augustine Cervantes, Kathy Crecia, Katrina Chakowski, Cheryl Forbes, Bob Fraley,
Here.
Alan Hallis,
Here.
Mike Hillis, Marty Martinez,
Here.
Jason Lee,
Here.
Gerard Morrison, Kevin Taylor.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great, thank you. Okay, we'll start this morning with item number 25. It's the report of the Provisional Accreditation Team for Stella Middle Charter Academy. Consultant Dr. Michelle Williams-George will introduce this item. She's joined today by Team Lead Connie Campbell and Institutional Representatives Melissa Kaplan, Deputy Superintendent, Ashley Colburn, Director, Teacher Induction and Development, Nicole Wellman-Noble, Vice President, People Development, and Marina Velez, Program Consultant. Are there any recusals? All right, Ms. Williams-George, will you begin, please?
Thank you, and good morning, committee members. Agenda item 25 includes the report and findings of the Provisional Accreditation site visit conducted at Stella Middle Charter Academy. This visit included one teacher induction program. We are joined today by not everyone who was listed. They may be joining us. But we have Ashley Colburn, who is the Director of Teacher Induction and Development, Nicole Wellman-Noble, Vice President of People Development, and Marina Velez, Program Consultant and previous Director of Teacher Induction and Development. The provisional site visit occurred from March 5th through the 7th of this year and was conducted virtually. The site visit team consisted of 2 review members and was led by our very capable team lead, Connie Campbell. The provisional site visit was the culminating activity of a process which began in December of 2016 when Stella Middle Charter Academy attended Accreditation 101 as part of stage 1 of the revised initial institutional approval process. In January of 2019, things began to move more quickly with the completion of stage 2 when the Commission approved their eligibility requirement submission. Stage 3 was approved in November of that same year, and Stage 4 was approved in March of 2020. As part of the final stage of the IIA process, Stage 5, Stella Middle Charter Academy began offering their proposed teacher induction program in August of 2020. If approved today by the committee, Stella Middle Charter Academy will go before the Commission for full approval. As stated in the item 25, Stella Middle Charter Academy intends to become the program sponsor for the Greater Los Angeles Schools Teacher Induction Consortium, more easily pronounced as GLASTIC. During this provisional year, the consortium has consisted of the 9 Bright Star schools. However, once fully approved, the institution will broaden the consortium and offer teacher induction services to other schools. With this in mind, after a thoughtful and comprehensive review of evidence during the including institutional documents, data from both institutional sources as well as the accreditation data dashboard, and interviews with a variety of constituents, the site visit team collaboratively confirmed findings on each of the common and program standards and determined a recommendation of accreditation with stipulations. Though the recommendation is plural, you'll see that there's only one recommendation, and our team lead will walk you through the rationale for that decision. I would like to note that the representatives in attendance today shows the level of support given to this teacher induction program. Another significant example of this support is the fact that the previous Director of Teacher Induction and Development, Marina Velez, who's with us today, and who left only because she moved out of state, was hired as a consultant to help the new Director of Teacher Induction and Development, Ashley Colburn, navigate the IIA process and finalize the building of a quality teacher induction program. Stella Middle Charter Academy and GLASTIC Consortium clearly have a commitment to anti-racist practices and lifting up BIPOC voices, as well as implementing organizational practices which support diversity, equity, and inclusion for all students and staff members. I'll now turn the presentation over to Connie Campbell to talk more about the report as well as the site visit team findings.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to report today about the GLASTIC induction program. whose sponsor, as Michelle said, is Stella Middle Charter Academy, who is one of the 9 Bright Star schools. It took us a moment to understand their framework. I've reported on multiple programs to this committee over the years, and this visit was truly a Bright Star experience. So I'd like to tell you about our experience and about Glassstick before talking about our findings. Stella Middle Charter Academy is a family of 9 schools serving 3 distinct and diverse communities. I call them a family of schools because they present as a close unit like a family. Stella Middle is now in its 3rd year of implementing the Greater Los Angeles Schools Teacher Induction Program, or Glassstick. Stella Middle Charter Academy is in stage 5 of the initial institutional approval process to become the program sponsor for Glassstick, the Greater Los Angeles Schools Teacher Induction Consortium. Currently, their consortium serves their own 9 Bright Star schools. However, once fully approved, they intend to broaden the consortium and offer teacher induction services to other schools in the surrounding area. This consortium of schools focus on a holistic approach to teaching in order to graduate students who become leaders that enrich their communities. It became increasingly clear during our visit, as our interviews progressed, that all constituents, meaning from program leadership to the finance office to the induction candidates themselves, are aware of and committed to the mission and vision of this institution. The holistic approach to teaching, where teachers practice evidence-based methodology with the support of coaching and reflective feedback, with the goal of graduating students who become leaders. This student-centered and human-centered approach was pervasive throughout our visit. The dedication to their mission was also apparent in how funds are allocated. Institutional expenditures showed the program is well supported, and in one interview, the induction program was described by administration as a permanent fixture in our budget and a priority in our institution. When asked how the teacher induction program fits into the larger vision and goals of the district, another administrator responded, "It's part of our DNA. We want all of our teachers to be involved in their own inquiry process based on their own goals and to see teaching as a practice and a profession." How beautiful. There was no doubt from our team that this program is a priority for this consortium of schools and will be sustained as a budget priority and a priority of practice. Communication and collaboration were clearly strongholds throughout the institution and within the teacher induction program. Throughout the site visit, it was clear that program leadership, you see them in the room, including the director of teacher induction, the development, and the vice president of people development. They work closely together to provide the program structure and also collaborate closely with employers to ensure appropriate support for candidates. Multiple constituents described them both as, quote, accessible and involved, and noted they communicate regularly and promptly with candidates and mentors in a prompt timeframe. Candidates described mentors as accessible and reported they provide just-in-time support and sustained long-term professional development for them. Glassstick has an advisory board that provides input, feedback, and advice on the operations of the program based on program data provided by program leadership. We saw several instances of program data leading to programmatic changes, such as feedback surveys and ILP evidence gathered multiple times during the academic year. And finally, the unit engages in a thorough assessment system that ensures continuous improvement and provides for systematic reflection of candidates' progress. This finding was based on multiple sources of data, demonstrating cycles of inquiry around candidate teaching practices. Both interviews and direct evidence provided during our site visit affirm the success of induction candidates in both accreditation activities, such as ILP completion, and in the performance of their job responsibilities. So what our team saw from Glassstick after reviewing all the evidence provided was a strong commitment to supporting new teachers to make a positive impact as educators. The program's values of efficiently and effectively serving a diverse population of students, creating a sense of belonging for students and staff, and ensuring that students meet content standards. These program foci have fostered a strong commitment by candidates to student learning, to their own professional growth, and to participate in the wider educational community. Our team is making the unanimous recommendation of accreditation with stipulation based on a thorough review of all institutional and programmatic information. And the decision pertaining to the accreditation status of accreditation with stipulation was based on the fact that all relevant preconditions for this institution have been determined to be met. All program standards were met except Standard 5, which was met with concerns, and all common standards were met except Standard 2, met with concerns. So let me give you the details about that. Standard 5 was met with concerns in one detail of that standard. And our finding is, while evidence was found for program extension policies, a process for requesting a leave of absence, and a grievance policy in regard to program completion, reviewers found no clear documented process in place for candidates to repeat portions of the program as needed. For Common Standard 2, we found a portion inconsistently met. And the details of that is, while a review of program documentation and interviews with constituents confirmed that evidence regarding progress in meeting competency and performance expectations is consistently used to guide advisement and candidate support, reviewers were unable to find evidence of a clearly defined process to identify and support candidates who need additional assistance to meet competencies. You probably hear commonality in those two findings, which really makes the finding more, it's one finding split into two. So in summary, our team found GLASTIC to be a thoughtful and well-designed program that provides for the success of their candidates, and we are more than confident they will continue to have a positive impact based on the passion with which they serve their community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. We now invite the institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you that this is not a time to dispute the team's report, but rather to provide any thoughts you had about the visit. And go ahead and please just jump in when you're ready.
Thank you so much. Good morning. We wanted to just start by offering a bit of gratitude and then share a little bit about how the process has helped us on our journey. So first, we would just love to offer gratitude to those that have supported us in this accreditation process. And first and foremost, we want to thank Michelle Williams-George for her consistent support and guidance over the past year plus in preparing us for the site visit, what to expect, and being a resource for us along the journey. And then we'd also love to thank members of the greater educational community that have supported us by showing us examples of best practice aligned to the standards and been a part of our induction community along this journey. So the first person we'd like to thank in that group is Patrick McKee, the director of the Foothill Consortium induction program that supported us in understanding the standards deeply. We'd also love to thank our new Teacher Center colleagues who have supported us with understanding effective mentor-teacher development. And then our Cluster 4 induction community, who's been a huge collaborative support along the journey as well. And last but not least, Connie Campbell and her site visit team were so curious and supportive and offered a really nice, positive, and safe environment for our folks to share about their experience with our program. And we really appreciate your curiosity and support during the site visit. It could be seen as a fearful process, and their team really made it seem like they just wanted to learn about what we do and align that to the standards. And it supported our program in really being able to understand our bright spots and understand where we needed to grow more. So thank you to Connie Campbell, Roxana Stern, and Reina Ariano from our site visit team as well. And I'd love to pass it quickly to Ashley to share about the process.
Thank you, Nicole. Good morning. I definitely echo her gratitude. I've been involved in a lot of oversight type visits. And this is the first one that I felt truly humanized our program. As Connie mentioned, we like to humanize the people that we serve. And I felt like the site visit truly humanized our program as well. And as a new director, it was a steep learning curve. Definitely a lot to take on as my first year as director. But I was really grateful for the process. It really helped me and our team examine our program design, our data, the experience of all our program participants through the lens of the standards and the best practices in a really deep and thorough way. And we're better for it. So thank you for guiding us through that process. It was great to be part of an experience that caused us to think about the continuous improvement that we very much value and the system values as well. We're so excited to hear the things that Connie heard that we're most proud of, how students are at the center of the work, how we're human-centered, how amazing our people are. Of course, we always think so, but we're biased. So it's great to have that confirmed. And just like the strong alignment and commitment to our program goals, our students and program quality that all of our participants share in our supportive and purposeful community. We also appreciate the feedback from the stipulation, as Nicole shared. We've already have a preliminary process drafted to address it after reaching out to our greater educational community and learning from other programs. And we're going to continue to get feedback for the rest of this school year from all interested parties. And we're looking forward to implementing it next year, incorporating it into our handbooks, orientation, and then taking the time to really assess its effectiveness and best supporting our candidates and students. And we're looking forward to showing our work to the commission in February or in 6 months. So again, thank you so much. And it was a really great process to help us ensure that we're serving our students through our teachers in the best way possible.
Thank you, Ms. Velez. Did you want to make any comments?
No, I just really echo the gratitude and the positivity of the process. Throughout was a really positive and growth experience for us. And so thank you to all those involved, and just commend the commission as well for being part of the process and creation of that, and also reading through all of our documents. And we appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Ms. Tchaikovsky, Member Tchaikovsky.
Thank you for being here. And most importantly, thank you for innovating. This is a challenging time for education across the country and in our state. And to see you have your eyes on the prize and be fixed on your goal that you've pursued for numerous years, nurturing relationships with each other that allow for handoff and transition and longevity is encouraging, and it's exemplary in terms of how this process can work best. So I want to thank our consultant and Connie also for being part of this collaborative process. It's pretty amazing when you actually kind of step back and look at how it works as a positive experience. So thank you for being here and sharing what you're doing and blazing a trail. Keep going.
Other questions or comments from committee members? Okay, this is an action item, and I just want to remind you, this is a provisional report, and we'll go to the commission after us. Do I have a motion from a committee member? Member Lee.
I move to approve and move forward the provisional accreditation report for Stella Middle Charter Academy.
Okay, and that's accreditation with stipulations.
Yeah, accreditation with the stipulations, exactly.
Right. Do I have a second? Member Hollis. Okay, we'll now do a roll call vote. All those, actually, Member Bernhardt, will you call the roll, please? I forgot we're different from yesterday.
Yeah. Kathy Grisha, Katrina Tchaikovsky, Cheryl Forbes, Bob Franley,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Marty Martinez,
Aye.
Jason Lee,
Aye.
Gerard Morrison,
Aye.
Kevin Taylor.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Bernardo. Motion carries. I would like to say congratulations to the Stella Middle Charter Academy team. And just a big thank you to Michelle Williams-George and to Ms. Campbell. Congratulations and thanks for all your work on this. Okay, next we'll move to item 26. This is a report of the accreditation team to Sacramento County Office of Education. Consultant Roxanne Purdue will introduce this item. She is joined by team lead Dr. Pat Pernin and institutional representatives Dr. L. Stephen Winlock, Executive Director, and Tammy Patton, Director of the School of Education for the Sacramento County Office of Education. I have to note that this item was erroneously listed on the agenda as an information item, which means we cannot take formal action. We will proceed as normal with the presentation and discussion of this item. Staff will then place this item on a consent calendar for the June 8th meeting. The institution need not be present, and there is no discussion at that time on June 8th, but a vote will be taken. This will formalize the action of the COA. Sacramento County, we apologize for the error. And the next question is, are there any recusals? And I will need to recuse myself and turn it over to Co-Chair Prawley.
Thank you, Co-Chair Martinez, and thank you, the committee, for being flexible and allowing me to be on Zoom this morning. So, Ms. Purdue, would you please begin?
Thank you. Good morning, committee members. It was a true pleasure to serve as the state consultant for the Sacramento County Office of Education site visit. The site visit took place from February 5th through 8th, 2023. The site visit was conducted virtually via Zoom and proceeded in accordance with all normal accreditation protocols. While Sacramento County has a school of education that encompasses multiple programs, their dedication to the standards and attention to detail was very evident. However, the most notable aspect of Sacramento County School of Education is their dedication to teamwork, collaboration, and communication. In working with this institution the year prior to the actual site visit, their whole team of program directors and the executive director came to every meeting with me. And that's not usually the case. So they truly work as a team. In thinking about the regularly scheduled meetings that we have once a month at the beginning, and as we move along, they increase. Not only did they come to all of those, but they were very effective in arranging the site visit because of their teamwork and clear communication with each other, even outside of the meetings with me. They meet so regularly as a team, and there are no silos in their team. That's why you see the executive director there at a meeting with me, Dr. Winlock. Even the superintendent, Gordon, for the Sacramento County Office of Education, is just so knowledgeable and involved with the School of Education. It was a pleasure to interview him too. So the team at Sacramento County Office of Education was wonderful to work with throughout the year, and they were very responsive to all that we asked of them. Joining us today from the Sacramento County Office of Education are Dr. Steve Winlock. He's the executive director of the School of Education, but I probably won't capture everything or get it all right, but he's also a co-director over the 2 administrative services programs. He is over the Leadership Institute. I could keep going, but we'll stop there. He's amazing too. It's just so the whole team really moves beyond even their roles within the School of Education or Sacramento County. They're truly involved with the community, as evidenced from top of leadership with Superintendent Gordon all the way down. Joining us today also is Tammy Patton, Program Director for the Teacher Induction Program, and she led the site visit and was the primary organizer. But as I said, she had a team with her. And also with us today is our team lead for the site visit, Dr. Patricia Pernin. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Pat, as she is a joy to work with. Her leadership, her professionalism, her dedication throughout the visit led to a very smooth and well-conducted visit. Also, I'd like to thank all of our site visit team members for their hard work and dedication in accomplishing such a thorough and detailed review. I can't even begin to tell you how much data and evidence they had to review, and they worked at the 2 months prior to the site visit, reviewing all that evidence, and then throughout the site visit as well, with all the triangulation of the interviews with that data and that evidence. So it was very detailed and thorough review on their part. Now I'd like to turn it over to our team lead, Dr. Pernin, who will present the findings and the accreditation recommendation of our site visit team. Dr. Pernin.
Thank you, Roxanne. Good morning, committee members. It is with pleasure that I'm able to report on the findings of the accreditation visit for preparation programs at the Sacramento County Office of Education, School of Education. However, before I begin, I would like to thank the SCOE Superintendent of Schools, the Executive Director of the program, the directors of all the programs, and all the support staff who worked tirelessly to prepare for the site visit, which began long before the actual visit. I also want to thank my BIR team of 6, Dr. Ursula Estrada Reveles, Joseph Frescatero, Aaron Davis, Pat Murphy, Jeannie Riddell, and Dr. Mary Young for their hard work and dedication to ensuring that the triangulation of the data and evidence was completed through interviews with 346 stakeholders, review of various data collections, and examination of all the documents, massive as it was. And of course, this process would never have been complete without the guidance and support of our consultant, Roxanne Purdue, who supported and worked with SCOE and the entire BIR team. Again, thank you all for your dedication to this process. I would like to start with a little background of Sacramento County Office of Ed, as it serves the local education agency for commission-approved professional preparation programs located within the SCOE School of Education. The School of Education was initiated under the guidance of the County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. David Gordon, and the Executive Director, Dr. L. Stephen Winlock, in 2014. Members of the team had an opportunity to interview both Superintendent Gordon and Dr. Winlock. What a wonderful experience that was, to be able to hear about the School of Education and how it grew to be what it is today, an innovative agency offering CTC-approved programs that support the preparation and development of high-quality teachers and education leaders for the Capital Region and beyond. As the intermediary unit between the regional school districts, county offices, and the California Department of Education, SCOE is uniquely situated to identify emerging educational needs and to develop and deliver highly effective educational programs and services. All programs are based on the needs of the districts whom they serve. An advisory board member said, quote, "It's the SOE's, School of Education's, ability to adjust and anticipate the needs across the county. They stay connected to what's happening in the schools and check in with the districts to learn about what their needs are." One adaptation that surfaced from feedback from districts was the hybrid teaching job fair. This allowed for greater access for teachers across the county. Again, their idea was to make sure that they were in touch with the districts whom they serve. In numerous interviews, the collaborative theme was evident, as we said before. Administrators reiterated that it was the intent of the program to ensure that there were no silos within the School of Education. The site visit team observed a high degree of collaboration, communication, and teamwork within SCOE that included departments that were not even part of the School of Education. For example, the technology department. Through this collaboration, a new database was developed based on the needs of the program and thereby the needs of the districts. As collaboration is central to the operation of the School of Education, they have established a variety of partnerships that include professional organizations as well as universities. The programs that are offered began at the preliminary level with a multiple subject, single subject intern programs, education specialist, mild, moderate support needs intern program, the teacher induction program, the preliminary administrative services program, and then the clear administrative services program. The pathway from teachers to administrators is clearly delineated. A principal noted, quote, 80% of our teachers went through the SOE induction program and now serve as induction mentors. This speaks volumes to the impact of SOE induction program. Key to all the programs is support integrated throughout each program and the School of Education itself. The team members consistently heard through interviews with stakeholders the support that was afforded to candidates in all of the various programs. As one candidate indicated, there are so many resources and supports to help us be successful. They're always willing to provide support on whatever we need it. They really work to make the program doable. Almost 90% of the participants in the general education intern program reported that their preparation was effective or very effective. Participants spoke of the responsiveness of the leadership and the trust the leadership had earned. And faculty said they were focused not only on just producing strong teachers, but also creating better human beings. Each program director plays a key role in supporting the candidates in their program directly. The program applies systematic multi-level checks and balances to ensure that candidates are monitored and receive the support that is needed. As an advisory board member noted consistently, the SOE's willingness to take input that results in a change is evident. As an example, they noted, survey data indicated that principals were unclear as to their role supporting induction candidates, and SOE quickly responded in that area by having specific sessions for their principals to help them in their support. In the past preliminary administrative services credential program, candidates and completers shared program adjustments that resulted from their feedback to the program, saying they changed how we could access information and resources about the Cal APA cycles. They shifted to more realistic timelines for completion of the Cal APA and provided sample submissions as a result of our feedback. Again, meeting the needs of the people that are in these programs. For the preliminary programs, course sequence was designed to support interns in their work as a new and developing teacher. Candidates reported feeling grateful for the sequencing of the courses so that when they were exposed to further instruction, they had developed scaffolding and could assimilate new information effectively. Survey results from the interns in the preliminary program indicated that over 90% of them felt they were well or very well prepared to plan and design instruction and learning experiences for all students. There is a clear commitment on the part of SOE to identify and use multiple sources of data to determine the extent to which candidates are prepared to enter professional practice. Support does not stop when the candidate finishes the program, as evidenced by the Super Saturday professional learning sessions for both candidates as well as alumni, where hot topics in education are discussed. Team members heard repeatedly throughout the multiple interviews that all programs and continuing professional learning opportunities were initiated by SCOE's School of Education, based again on the needs of the districts that they served. In conclusion, the accreditation team's unanimous recommendation of accreditation is based on a thorough review of all institutional and programmatic information and materials available prior to and during the accreditation site visit, including interviews with administrators, faculty, candidates, graduates, and local school personnel. The team obtained sufficient and consistent information that led to a high degree of confidence in making overall and programmatic judgments about the professional education unit's operation. As noted, the accreditation team unanimously recommends accreditation for the Sacramento County Office of Education's School of Education. Thank you so much. It was truly a wonderful visit. I learned so much. My team was phenomenal. And again, I cannot thank Roxanne enough for all the help that she gave and support she gave us throughout the entire program. So thank you all for letting me be a part of this accreditation team to do this. This was truly, truly fun. I've enjoyed every single minute of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pernin, for your detailed report and your excitement and enthusiasm. I really do appreciate that. I know the project and the process can be long and arduous and taking much time. I appreciate your volunteering to help with the.
Bob, you're muted.
I need my Mickey Mouse cup that actually says you're muted. I actually have one of those. So sorry. I thought I had it nailed. What I had said was to thank you, Dr. Vernon, you heard my comments as far as thanking you for your dedication, your support, and the fact that we know it's a arduous process. It takes many, many hours of volunteer work, and thank you for your efforts on that. We appreciate that. And also thank you, Ms. Purdue, for your report. And we now invite institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you it's not a time to dispute the team's report, but rather provide any thoughts you had about the visit itself.
Thank you. I'm Steve Wenlock, the Executive Director of our Sacramento County Office of Education, School of Education. First of all, I just want to say what an experience it was. In the issue of us, you know, we have built our School of Education through our credentialing programs and our CSLA, and being able to have an opportunity for us to go through the accreditation to make sure that we're still providing the high quality that we keep saying that we need to do for leaders and teachers in the region was phenomenal. I'm going to miss having them coming to our organization, however it was, for a year, over a year that we were involved. But, you know, during that time, we spent time really looking at what do we provide? What is our credential? What does it look like? What are the things that we needed to make sure that we're doing in order to meet? It was just phenomenal. I want to thank Dr. Pernin and also Roxanne Purdue. They were such great team members for us to work with. You know, we believe at the Sacramento County office that we work in teams. We got to work in a team to produce what we need to have in that high quality production. And I really felt that Dr. Pernin and also Dr. Purdue, that they were able to make sure that they were team members with us as we were moving and looking at the quality of our programs and what we do. You know, the interview times were so exciting, you know, to have 5 million people interviewed about our program and give their reviews of it. And, you know, when they were able to share with the committee about who we are, that's really what you need to know. You know, you need to know from the people that are involved in it, that are receiving it, when they can talk about your program in a way. We were just over the top in the opportunity for us to have that. You know, Sacramento County is built on teamwork, as I said, and also the continuous learning. I want to really underscore that the accreditation process allowed us to keep that kind of guiding principle about continuous learning. You know, we're expanding in lots of ways. We've just received another teacher residency grant, or creating another teacher resident program in our, and we have to really look at how do we set that up. We also have to look at how it blends into our credentialing programs and working together with that and all together. So we are constantly doing continuous learning about how we should work together. And again, the accreditation team, or process, I should say, has allowed us to keep doing with that. We plan to keep building and working on programs that are there high quality. Finally, I just want to say that one of the biggest assets that we have in our region are our people, our superintendents, our districts, our principals, are all of those that are involved with understanding that they have a role to help with the development of teachers in our program. You know, we've got coaches from all of our districts that are working and involved, mentor teachers. I just can't underscore how the Sacramento County resources support us so much in making sure that our teachers are given the best guidance in their development, and also our educational leaders. And we rely on those experts within our region in a lot of ways to help with that. With that, you know, we keep looking about, do we need to develop to, like, you know, full career from birth to in at the continuous? So we may be putting in a retirement program that we have to guide people and work through, because we plan to have all of our educators involved with us once they come through our programs all the way through and make a commitment to this profession. So again, I want to thank really the committee and spending time with us for a year and a half. And of course, I'm going to miss them. That's really the biggest thing. Ms. Patton, would you share a little bit about our process?
So thank you, committee members. Again, I also want to extend my thanks to Dr. Pernin and to Roxanne. You know, at the beginning of this process, Roxanne said to me, we're going to become best friends. And we truly did. I just appreciate so much the responsiveness from Roxanne, the quick turnaround with all of our many questions that we asked back and forth. I never felt like, as we were working together towards our site visit, that there was anything left undone or unsupported. So thank you, Roxanne. This process has been amazing to go through. It's a wonderful process, from looking at program review and preconditions and common standards all the way to the site visit. And it really does ensure that programs are taking a very close look at the services that they are offering, and based upon feedback and data, looking to continuously improve. And we always say as educators, you're never done, right? Every year, even though you have a lot of experience, you continue to look at how do you become even better. And that's something that our School of Education is always focused on, under the leadership of Dr. Winlock and our amazing team that's represented here today. Every single program leader, director was intimately involved in this process, working together to support each other, support each other's programs. Our support staff were doing the same thing. It is a privilege to be a part of the School of Education and to do the work that serves our region. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Winlock, and thank you, Dr. Patton. Your comments are very well received, and we certainly appreciate the detail and your excitement, your enthusiasm, and the comment about the ongoing activity with the educators, and it's never an ending process. It always involves. So thank you for sharing that. We now invite the members of the committee to offer any questions or comments you may have.
Well, thank you for all the great work you're doing. It sounds like a fantastic program. And my comments is just to, again, apologize for the fact that we're not going to finalize it here today. It must be a big disappointment after all the work that was done. Apologies for that. You know, we can get it done next time.
And my camera isn't working at this point, so everybody in the committee room is stopped, as well as the video of myself and Dr. Pernin on the host screen is stopped. So I don't know who is requesting to speak from the committee, so just feel free to chime in.
Hi, thank you for being here. I would just, my first comment is the enthusiasm and
it seems like we lost them.
It does seem like we lost them.
Right. I'm going to try to send them a quick message, let them know that we cannot hear them. Well, I've sent them a message and maybe they're continuing without us. Sent her email, so sent her a text. Okay. Are we back? I see them. I can't hear them. Technology.
Love it.
Can you hear us, Bob?
Now we can, yeah. Now things
Excellent.
are
We
pretty
are back. We're back.
Okay, great. Okay.
And
So
I
I believe, yeah, I think remember Tchaikovsky was the one who's in the process of making a comment. That's the last we heard when she started.
I'll have to try to pull it back. Well, I just wanted to commend you on your obvious clear vision and enthusiasm. And I can't help but think that everything you're sharing with us today is translated through your program participants to your classrooms, because it starts from the top and it starts with what you are showing to us is transmitted to your participants. When they take that and they hear the confidence that you have in yourselves and in them, they take that to their classrooms, and that's exactly what the young people in the classrooms are hearing. So hugely important. And then I just had a question, if you would be so kind. 700 induction people. It's amazing what you people are doing in induction. And coming out of COVID, we have particular conditions which warrant additional attention. So as such a large program, I'm just wondering if you could kind of think on your feet and just give us maybe a couple of lessons learned. What have you learned that teachers need, and what can you provide to them now that might be useful moving forward?
Thank you for that question. Our induction program over the last several years has done a lot of pivoting and just understanding and hearing from the field what is needed right now. And one of the biggest pieces that we've really embraced is being cheerleaders for our teachers in the field. Being that just-in-time support is more critical than ever. Talking through when teachers are having challenges and ready to resign from the field. What is it that you need right now, today, this week, that's going to support you in your classroom? And fortunately, with my co-director, Christina, and me, we are able to really provide that very intensive support to teachers. Our teachers know theory that we are a 700 member program, but they don't feel that. They have access to Christina and myself continuously for anything that they need, as well as our mentors and facilitators. So I would say teachers need to feel valued, respected, and loved. And that's what we do.
Well, you're awesome. Thank you.
Any further comments or questions from committee members?
Yeah, I'd just like to offer congratulations and continuing that thread, just seeing in every program, those triad and quad and wraparound services given to the candidates during this difficult time. It was really impressive and something we should all be looking at in all of our programs.
Great. Thank you, Member Hallis. Are there any other comments or questions?
I'd like to congratulate the whole team on a fabulous report. I mean, your commitment to continuous improvement just sort of oozed out of the report all the way through, which is wonderful to see. It's something that's really important to me in my program, and so it's great to see others doing it so well. Your numbers are up across the board in a year when across the state numbers are going down. What's your special sauce? How are you doing this? Because I need some of that.
Directly with those to increase. So we keep working on the issue about making sure that you know that you're needed in education, and that message is kind of like stemming out. So people are applying, they're coming through. Districts tell us we need this. These teachers in these positions, and we put that out there in the community. So people are seeing that we do need them. And so because of that, I think that's one of the reasons why we have numbers up in all of our programs.
Thank you, Dr. Winlock. There definitely is a need for teachers around the state, and you're certainly doing things well in Sacramento County there. Any other committee member have a comment that you wish to make or a question? Okay, hearing none, as mentioned, this item will be placed on a consent calendar for formal action at the next meeting of the COA. And representatives from Sacramento County, you do not need to be there as it's a consent item. You're welcome to join us, but there'll be no further discussion. We can assure you that there are no issues that we see with the report, nor do we see any outstanding concerns. So just to let you know, thank you for coming down today. We apologize for the fact that no vote taken, but we can assure you the vote will be taken in a positive manner in June. So thank you for joining us, Dr. Winlock, Ms. Patton, Dr. Pernin. Thank you for your efforts as always. And thank you, Ms. Perdue as well.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Congratulations. At this point, I want to turn it back over to my co-chair.
Hey, we will, because we love talking about our program. Really do. Thank you.
You bet. So at this point, I'll turn it back to my co-chair, Dr. Martinez.
Thank you, Co-Chair Crowley. We'll move on to item 27, is the report of the accreditation team to Lancaster School District. Consultant Dr. Timothy Weeks will present this item. He's joined by team lead Dr. Barbie Severance and institutional representatives Krista Thompson, Director of Curriculum, Instruction and Assessment, Renee Rubio, Induction Facilitator, and Michelle Lambeth, Induction Facilitator. Does anyone need to recuse? Okay, Dr. Weeks, will you begin, please?
There we go. Now there we go. Much better. I'll start over. All right. Good morning, committee members. Lancaster School District site visit took place from February 27th through March 1st, 2023. The visit was conducted virtually with a total of 88 interviews, which were completed with the various constituency groups. The site visit proceeded in accordance with all normal accreditation protocols. Everyone at Lancaster School District was great to work with, especially their leadership team, who were extremely thoughtful and thorough in their preparation for the site visit. Additionally, they offered me a great deal of support in what was not only my first site visit as a solo consultant, but also my first experience with an induction program. So I'd like to thank them for their support. And then joining us today via technology and representing Lancaster School District is the leadership team consisting of Dr. Krista Thompson, Director of Curriculum, Instruction and Assessment, and Renee Rubio and Michelle Lampert, Induction Facilitators. Also joining us today is the visits team lead, Dr. Barbie Severns, Induction Coordinator at Los Banos Unified School District. Dr. Barbie Severns was a fantastic team lead to work with and a very knowledgeable and thoughtful leader throughout the process. I would also like to thank both of our team members, Denise Duell from Turlock Unified School District and Christina Mendez from Los Angeles Unified School District, for contributing their time and expertise to this site visit. The team worked diligently in their preparation for the visit and also worked extremely hard during the visit in the preparation of this final report. I would now like to turn it over to Dr. Barbie Severns, who will present the findings and the team's accreditation recommendation.
Good morning, committee members. And first, let me apologize. I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but it is not working at all. So we're just going to move forward and you get a picture of a camera for me. I would like to thank the program leadership in Lancaster for all of the work that they did to ensure that all of the evidence was provided in such a well-organized manner. And our BRI team members who reviewed that evidence, we were able to confirm everything so well because of the well-organized website that you had for us and your well-organized interview schedule. So we thank you all for that. Oh, there I am. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys got me covered, right? Their induction program provides individual support to each of their candidates in a design that is fully job embedded. Their program is such an integral part of their Department of Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment, and allows them to coordinate their department with the Department of Human Resources and with all of the correlating members of the Eastside School District. Every education partner and individual provided so much time to us and thoughtful reflection on their induction program, and this made the importance of the program very clear to each one of us on the accreditation team. And by thoughtfully identifying key individuals in a wide variety of departments, their program is assured that anything that any candidate may need can be provided. It is clear that the induction program is a high priority to the district, and I am pleased to be here today to provide the recommendation of accreditation for the Lancaster School District Teacher Induction Program.
Thank you, Dr. Severns. We now invite the institutional representatives to briefly comment about the visit. We remind you that this is not a time to dispute the team report, but rather to provide any thoughts you had about the visits. And please feel just free to jump in when you're ready.
Hi, my name is obviously Renee Rubio. I'm one of the induction facilitators here in Lancaster. We were very thankful to have such a great team come in and support us through the site visit journey. Although I am myself a member of the BIR committee, it's different when it's your own program, that's for sure. And so we were very thankful to have such a knowledgeable team to come in and support us and to help us if we needed any help of any sort. So I just wanted to say thank you for the quality of service you provided and the support you provided. And we were very thankful. And maybe Krista wants to say something besides thank you. I'm not sure.
I will just add to that, very thankful for the professionalism, the organization, and the transparent communication from the team to our leadership team and to our members. It was a very smooth visit. We appreciated your honesty, your transparency, your support, and recommendations. So we feel very proud of our program, and it felt good to be validated.
Thank you. Any other representatives?
All of those things that Krista and Renee had to say, I echo.
And then on furthermore, I would just like to say I appreciated the committees. They brought down the temperature as far as nervousness and anxiety and made it very not casual, that's the wrong word, but very comfortable to communicate between the two. And so that made it much better. This is my very first site visit. So I appreciate that with much gratitude. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. And we do understand it's so different when it's your own institution being reviewed. And but it does, it really gives us a sense of when we're a BIR team member, maybe how the others are feeling and how to approach that. So thank you for recognizing that and that collaborative process. Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Member Taylor.
Congratulations on your report. The numbers of completers, 24 in 21-22, and the number of candidates in 22-23 is 97. That feels like a big jump. I was wondering if you could speak to that.
Krista?
For any member of the.
Okay, yeah. Krista, do you want to take this or do you want me to go? It's up to you.
Go right ahead. I'll jump in with anything that is.
Okay. So that is absolutely a reflection of, we're in a teacher shortage. So we are hiring left and right. We're hiring pips and skips. And we went from our program cruising between 30 and 40 to the last 2-3 years. Our new teachers have just exploded. So after this year and the next year coming up, the number 94 will probably be more of an even number than that giant jump, because we went from a pretty veteran school district to a lot of our people are retiring and we're replacing them with newbies. We also made a program change. And I think it was one of the best things we've done for our program, but I'm going to let Michelle explain a little bit about what we did to help to ease this giant group of people. Sorry, Michelle, you're on.
One of the things that we did in our program that we changed is before all of our candidates came in pretty much whenever they rolled in, and it was very difficult to keep track of. And we moved our program into 4 different groupings, kind of like a college class where it's a semester where we roll them in when they come in, we get them a minute right away, but we group them by where they are in the program rather than your year 1 and your year 2. So even though we have a certain number of completers, we actually have completers at different places. We have them at the end of a 2-year program, but that end of the year program happens at different places. Most of them happen at the end of a school year, but we also have a group that completes in December because they rolled in January. So we have this constant circle of a new group coming in every single semester so that we can better serve their individual needs and keep track of what they need as an induction journey, instead of, oh yeah, you rolled in November, but you don't know what everybody knew when they rolled in August, which was what we were finding the case that they just needed more support that was based on where they were individually. So I think that is a big reflection of our people. And then I would also add the numbers jump too, because during COVID, I think we had more people coming in with restrictions. They weren't having to wait until they finished all of that. So that also, I think, exploded our program a little bit more than it would have normally exploded. It would have been in the internships and pits. So those 2 things, plus the teacher shortage is definitely reflective in our large program.
Thank you. Member Tchaikovsky?
Yeah, thank you for those comments. My question was sort of related to that. I noticed that increase also, and given that induction is a 2-year program, to have 97 people divided by 2 is still twice as many, as you were serving the previous year. So you mentioned PIPs, STIPs, all of this emergency stuff, right? So my question to you is, do you envision longer term support for your induction candidates beyond the end of officially induction that might include some of that subject matter competence, et cetera, outstanding requirements that teachers need to generate in order to maintain their credentials, because there's a time, right? There's a clock is ticking on those short-term GLAP kind of extensions. So have you contemplated potentially supporting candidates who do have those kind of exceptional credential pathways or not? I think that's something I would like to ask about, just to hear, but also to maybe encourage you to think about maintaining and retaining those people. Thank you.
So I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to answer to the best of my ability. And if it's not correct, it's okay to tell me you're not right, Renee, and please answer this question. So here we go. Our program also houses the PIPs and the STIPs and the interns. So not only do we work with induction, but we are supporting our PIPs and our STIPs and our interns. And we have very much, I think, created a seamless program that once these credentials are posted, they roll right into us. So we provide all the support from you came from Bank of America yesterday and now you work in the classroom, to I've been in this district for 5 years and I'm just getting ready to clear my credential. So we always envision and plan to provide supports to all of our teachers, regardless of where they are at in their program. We do recognize that the intern PIP and STIP support is a little bit less regular. That's not the right word I'm looking for. A little bit less rigid and planned for. We do a lot of just-in-time support with those PIP, STIPs, and interns, more than we're working on an ILP. What's your goal? Where we're at? Where are we moving to? It's more of, what can I do to ensure that you're going to come back next year and that you have the tools that you need to be successful and for your students also to be successful. I hope I answered that question. Krista, Michelle, if I forgot.
Actually, I was going to add to that a little bit. The other thing that we do is we provide professional development. We've even brought in the university, one of our university professors, to provide extra support on things like CPAs. And we have also pulled in, well, not pulled in, but we have shared with our STIPs, interns, and teachers with restrictions, a variety of ways in which they can help them pass that RECA. We have a good connection with our higher education people, and make them very aware of, here are PDs that you can go to at our institution that are from the university that come into our district and offer that. We offer even to pay them to go to those. And then we also give them the heads up of where different little Saturday workshops and things like that exist that they can go to outside of our district to support all those internships, PIPs, and preliminaries with restrictions to achieve those. On top of that, one thing that we do convey to all of our teachers, that whether or not they're in induction, a STIP, a PIP, an intern, Renee and I are teacher support. So even though their induction journey may be over with us, if there is something that they need, they know where to find us. We are right here at any time. They can call with any need. And our district seems to be pretty good as well as to provide PLC time at schools, time for common planning, those kinds of things, so that they are not left out in the wind. Like, here you go, sink or swim, and you're on your merry way. We're very much a collaborative district. So they have those supports as well as a full professional development catalog to attend, as well as synchronous and asynchronous options for when they move through induction and they are a clear credentialed teacher that may need more support.
Thank you for your answer. And I was going to observe that there were only 6 completers that were part of this visit. I guess, I'm fixated on the retention aspect of your program. So I would hope that the next time you do a visit, there would be more than just 6, given the size of your program. To hear down the road what all of these supports you've described work best from the perspective of your candidates. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Tchaikovsky. Any other comments or questions from members? Okay, this is an action item. Do I have a motion? Member Hallis.
I move to accept the recommendation of accreditation for the Lancaster School District.
And a second. Member Hillis. And Ms. Bernardo, will you do a roll call vote?
Kathy Kreisha,
Aye.
Katrina Chakowski,
Aye.
Alan Hallis,
Aye.
Mike Hillis,
Aye.
Freddie Martinez,
Aye.
Jason Lee,
Aye.
Gerard Morrison,
Aye.
Kevin Taylor,
Aye.
Bob Fraley.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations to the Lancaster team. And we really appreciate your description of all of the support you're providing teachers during this very challenging time. And so thank you for the work you're doing for your districts and for the teachers and students you serve. Also, thank you to Dr. Severance for your work and the great report, and to Dr. Weeks for leading the work here. Appreciate it. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to item 28. Do we have the team from El Dorado County here? Okay, item 28 is a discussion of the 7th year report from El Dorado County Office of Education. Consultant Christina Najarro will introduce this item. Joining her is Institutional Representative Jill Morton, Director of Professional Development. Does anyone need to recuse? All right, Ms. Najarro, will you begin, please?
Thank you. Good morning and happy Friday, committee members. It's a pleasure to be here this morning to introduce the 7th year report from El Dorado County Office of Education. This report is a follow-up to their May 2022 accreditation visit and provides a detailed explanation of the actions the program has taken to address the met with concerns finding on Teacher Induction Program Standard 4. The finding related specifically to the need for a shift in program design so that mentors have independent access to candidate ILPs. I'd now like to welcome Jill Morton from El Dorado County Office of Education to summarize their progress on meeting Program Standard 4 and to answer any questions you may have.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. So in the report, you can see that there were 3 areas that were met with concerns under Standard 4. And so program leadership met with the program to discuss how we were going to meet those concerns. And as a result, you can see our response on the right. So the first concern was about the mentor having ability to review the ILP with candidates and for that mentor to have that direct access to the ILP. So as a result, you can see on the right, both candidates and mentors have an e-course that they work through. And so we provided that direct access on the mentor e-course where they can click on that link and they can see whether it's one or multiple candidates that they are supporting. They can click on that link and see their candidate's ILP and where they are currently. So we did provide that direct access. The second piece was in the completion guide, calling out periodically to review the ILP. So as a result of that, what we did in response was we directly put into the discussion topics in the completion guide for both the Gen Ed and Ed Spec completion guides. And you can see for both year 1 and year 2, it'll direct you to the pages where we specifically prompt the mentor to review that ILP with their candidate and to make any adjustments as needed. And then the third piece that we worked on was that we heard from the site team from their interviews that several mentors expressed wanting to have that direct access to the ILP and it would be beneficial to their work. So we, prior to launching this year, added that access. And then mid-year, which that survey happened about a month ago, we surveyed the mentors and asked how having direct access to the candidate's ILP has it supported their work as a mentor. And so those links below will show you, we held just a traditional mentor training mid-year, and then we also held one for our mentors who are supporting executive order candidates. And you can see that everybody who responded either responded that it strongly or strongly supported or supported their work as a mentor. So all positive feedback from that.
Thank you, Ms. Morton. Now we'll open up to committee members. Do I have any questions or comments from committee members? Member Hallis.
Morning, and thank you for your work on this. It's great to see the surveys provided to the mentors about how they're utilizing the ILP. Are you planning on getting some candidate feedback as well to see how that's improved their experience with their mentors really using the ILP to drive their induction?
Yeah, we include that in our year-end survey. We get feedback. Actually, throughout the whole year, we're asking about how, the mentor support, is beneficial and with the ILP. So I believe we already have some of that feedback, but we could absolutely add that to next year if we wanted to get that more in-depth information.
Thank you.
Member Tchaikovsky.
Yeah, thank you. Related to my colleague's question here too. I mean, I looked at the links at the bottom for the mentor mid-year training survey. It's sort of like, well, either yes or no, kind of a binary kind of question. I might encourage you, in light of COVID-induced complications and new needs of our candidates, perhaps incomplete preliminary credential requirements, et cetera. It's a changing landscape. It always is. So the ILP as a vehicle to bring mentors and candidates together could also evolve. So I think the question that Member Hollis just asked about getting candidate feedback is a really useful one, with the goal being to modify, adapt, and improve your ILP, because that's not a fixed thing, right? We're out of the pizza box, and the same thing applies to the ILP today, right? That can evolve over time. So
yeah,
I just encourage you to continue to think about how to make those changes in response to candidate feedback.
Thank you, Member Tchaikovsky. Other members? I do have a question before we move to a vote. So Ms. Morton, when you think about, from your perspective as the leadership of the induction program and all that, first of all, I want to say thank you for those changes that you made and the quick response. What have you learned in terms of leading this program? How have these changes impacted the program from your perspective?
It was interesting to hear the feedback. The mentors felt strongly about having access to their ILP. And I heard from our coordinators who review their work this year that they've also seen an increase in the level of reflection and work within the ILP. I think having that specifically called out has just helped that coordination and support with the mentor, and the mentor being able to see at any time how that candidate is doing on their ILP, if they need to step in and give them that just-in-time support or any support around it. I think it's just been beneficial. So all around, I love the feedback, and I love hearing it from our mentors. I appreciate the feedback about really getting it from our candidates as well. So I think it's been positive all the way around.
Excellent, thank you. And I think it's another good example of how the process really is meant to improve programs and what it did for years. Thanks for sharing that. Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, do I have a motion to accept the 7th year report from El Dorado County Office of Education? Motion from Member Kresha.
I move that we accept the 7th year report from El Dorado County Office of Education.
And a second, Member Lee. Okay, we'll now do a roll call vote. Ms. Bernardo?
Kathy Kresha.
Aye.
Katrina Tchaikovsky.
Aye.
Bob Fraley.
Aye. Aye.
Ellen Hallis.
Aye.
Mike Hillis.
Aye.
Marty Martinez.
Aye.
Jason Lee.
Aye.
Gerard Morrison.
Aye.
Kevin Taylor.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you to Ms. Morton for your work throughout this year, and Ms. Najarro, thanks for your work in leading that. Appreciate it and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we will now move to the public comment section of our meeting. Does any member of the public have anything it wishes to say? Please raise your hand in the Zoom feature, or we'll wait a moment to see if we have anyone indicating they wish to speak in the chat function. Okay, having no further business, I adjourn the May 2023 meeting of the Committee on Accreditation. The next meeting of the committee will be June 8th, 2023. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. See you in June.
Bye, Co-Chair Prowley.
Bye, Bob.
See you, Bob.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.